Next, I believe we're going to move to Wayne Blomberg. Wayne is the owner of Ryde Marine, a well-known marina on Crooked Lake in Emmet County. He will explain why keeping oil out of the Great Lakes is crucial to his business.
I operate a marina located on northern Michigan's inland route. Having grown up here, I've developed a true appreciation for the beauty and clean air and water that we've been blessed with. Likewise, the business I'm in relies heavily on those very qualities that drive our tourism-based economy. As I learn more about oil pipelines that run near and through our lakes and rivers, I'm having strong reservations about near and long-term safety and reliability of this infrastructure, considering the age. An accident or spill in northern Michigan must never happen. A spill or failure of equipment anywhere on the inland route would have a very detrimental effect on our business. This pipeline is of an age that requires much scrutiny, especially considering any increase in operating pressure. Technological advances over time could make this pipeline safer and should be required. Where the pipeline crosses any water body that has ice cover in winter, double wall piping with monitoring equipment should be mandatory. Any wintertime spill would be impossible to clean up. A community that must live with the risk of failure and spill should have a voice and input in oversight of the operation of these pipelines. As mentioned earlier, I have a deep appreciation for the area I choose to live in. I have been a longtime member at Tip of the Met Watershed Council, Little Traverse Conservancy, and Pickerel Crooked Lakes Association. Within the past 15 years, I've been involved with 3 projects by Little Traverse Conservancy that raised over $2 million to purchase ecological sensitive properties on the inland route. On the inland route, there are approximately 8 other businesses that employ many people and serve the needs of thousands of people in the summertime that would be severely impacted by the disaster of a pipeline failure. And this must never be allowed to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. That was Wayne Blomberg, owner of Ryde Marine, R-Y-D-E, in Emmet County. I think with that, why don't we wrap it up? As I've said, if you have questions, feel free to follow up with me. Andy McGlashan, my information is on the press release and other materials. I'd also point folks to oilandwaterdon'tmix.org. You can find a fact sheet there that has pretty much all the information, the background details on this issue, as well as some video resources and other good information there. So again, feel free to contact me or others in the campaign, and thank you very much for joining the call. We appreciate it. Next, we're going to turn it to Stephen Breda, who's here in person. He is a Petoskey-based writer and photographer who has paddled his canoe around 4.5 of the 5 Great Lakes. He paddled the south shore of Lake Superior this summer. He will talk about the Great Lakes from a recreational perspective.
Hi. I'd long dreamed of one day embarking on a walkabout, and in 2009 I quit my day job and started spending the summer months paddling my canoe around the shorelines of the 5 Great Lakes. In 2009 I made it around Lake Huron, in 2010 Lake Michigan, 2012 Lake Erie, and in 2013 Lake Ontario. This past summer I paddled the U.S. coast of Lake Superior, hoping to paddle the Canadian shore next summer, the Canadian shore of Superior. These voyages have infused me with a reverence for the lakes and a dismay at the way they have been and continue to be abused. For the past century or so, the Great Lakes have been a dump for litter, oil and salt runoff from roadways, effluent from sewer systems, tailings from mining operations, ordnance from military exercises, mercury deposits from power plants, pesticide and fertilizer runoff from farms and lawns. Nuclear industry is currently pushing a plan to bury a radioactive waste on the Lake Huron shore. I'm here today to add my voice to those concerned about the 61-year-old Enbridge energy pipeline that runs under the Straits of Mackinac. A rupture of that section of pipeline would cause untold damage to the environment and threaten the drinking water and livelihoods of the people of my home. In the first decade of this century, Enbridge's network of pipelines leaked over 130,000 barrels of oil into the environment. That record, combined with the myriad uncertainties responding to a spill in the Straits, should compel Michigan's government officials to conduct a thorough public review that weighs the benefits versus the risks of the pipeline to the citizens of the state. I've paddled my canoe across the Straits several times. I'm 63 years old, only a couple of years older than Line 5. It could be argued that I too am too old to be crossing those turbulent waters in a small vessel. But if my canoe or I spring a leak, the consequences would be limited to a few tears shed. It wouldn't be an environmental and economic disaster.
I think with that, why don't we wrap it up? As I've said, if you have questions, feel free to follow up with me, Andy McGlashan. My information is on the press release and other materials. I'd also point folks to oilandwaterdon'tmix.org. You can find a fact sheet there that has pretty much all the information, the background details on this issue, as well as some video resources and other good information there. So again, feel free to contact me or others in the campaign, and thank you very much for joining the call. We appreciate it.